crafting journey here, that journey chick on Instagram. Glad you guys are following me on both YouTube and Instagram. And I gotta tell you, I am in love with these containers. Oh my God. So what I did was I got this little pad that I have that sticks to the drills, and you can put your container there. You can put some drills in the bottom part, in the top part, and then you can put a lid on it. So this came from Wilson's 3D Designs on Etsy. Um, and the color is silk pink. It's called the Stacker. So I will be ordering a couple of more, at least a couple more, because I just love them. I'm going to see what other colors she has and how much they are, because tomorrow's payday. Today's Thursday. Tomorrow's payday. Tomorrow's also the Friday dance. Yep. It's been a long day of work, but I had a good day at work. I've been working one day a week, so it was not different in that sense. But what it was different in the sense that I filmed the show the night before, so when I got up in the morning, I showered and I made my coffee, and then when I went to work, I thought, I'm not going to park in my usual where I've been parking for the last year. I'm going to park where I would parked a year ago before all this COVID happened. We would have to park a little bit farther away, and I would have to walk by the children's center, which I always enjoyed, watching the parents bringing in their kids, and in the afternoon watching the kids playing in the play yard. So I parked there, and then it's a little bit longer of a walk for me, which I need. So let's start. Yes, I'm finishing up this diamond painting. I've just got this little section to finish and plug in a couple of holes. I wanted to work on it last night, but it just was not in the cards. Jake was having a fit. He's already back there campaigning. He started during my Craft With Me Wednesday show. He was carrying on, and he just won't stop. I've tried to convince him that it is not time to go to bed, but he does not believe me. So it was nice at work because, my best friend from work was there, and I said, can I give you a hug? And she said, yes. We've both been vaccinated. So I gave her a hug, and then at lunchtime we went and had lunch, and we walked. You have to walk across this large parking lot for the hospital. So we walked across the parking lot to the Burger King, and the dining room was closed. I'm like, what? Still? So right next door is the McDonald's. So we went to the McDonald's, hung out there and just chit-chatted and caught up on everything because, her baby is now 4 months old and so adorable. Oh my gosh. She wants me to crochet her some diaper covers. So I looked up diaper covers, and they're so adorable. Oh my God, I want to make some for her. And I have the perfect yarn to do that, but actually I think that's a chunky yarn. I may not be able to, I think I might have to use a 3-weight yarn. So I can use some of that mandala yarn to probably make a real pretty little diaper cover for a couple diaper covers for her. I remember though my kids, I might want to make them out of cotton because and make sure they're washable because I remember sometimes my kids would explode, and yeah, you just like carry them to the bathtub. Remember those days? Yeah, those are the things you never forget about being a parent. Yeah, those little details. So, what national day is it? It's National Nurses Day. Happy Nurses Day. If you know a nurse like me, yeah, I'm a nurse. I'm a registered nurse. Say something nice to them. Say how much you appreciate what they do for you. How they get up and they go and they do the worst kind of work in the world. Thank God I'm not a bedside nurse anymore because it's a tough job. and people, you're seeing people at their worst, they're in pain and they don't feel well, and and their food is terrible. So people are just not happy, and you're trying to make them happy, but sometimes it's not attainable. And it's a difficult job. So if you know a nurse, just thank them for the work that they do, especially during this time of COVID. Oh my goodness. I can't even imagine what those nurses by the bedside went through watching those patients. They didn't have any loved ones. They had to be there for the patients because there were no loved ones that could be with the patient. Oh, so sad. Anyhow, and I remember National Nurses Day. I work in a hospital, but I'm part of the medical staff office. So yes, they know I'm a nurse, but I don't think I'll get like a cake or anything like that. Usually the hospital does something for the nurses. They will get them, I don't know, have to see. I don't know. And usually National Nurses Day, which is today, Thursday, is celebrated as part of an entire week that culminates on May 12th as National Nurses Week. And May 12th is actually the birthday of Florence Nightingale, the first nurse. She did bedside nursing. She would visit the bedsides during the Crimean War, which I don't even know what year that was. And she would do it at night. That's why they called her the Nightingale. Yes. And I bet they were nice to her, because she was probably beautiful. She probably said sweet things to them. Okay, I think I'm done with this color. Okay. I'm so ready to be done with this painting. Yes, I am. How did that get out of there? So let us do Judge, Jury, and Journey. Come on, get the stopper out of there. Ah, there it goes. Ah, there we go. Let me open my little book here. I was listening while I was at work. I brought my earplugs and I listened to, this was day 2 of the trial. So, day 2. Now, I ended yesterday by talking about how the police get the Facebook messages. This person was still on the stand. I guess I did not catch his entire testimony, but there was 4,000 pages that were provided by Facebook of the account of Nicholas Godejohn, Dee Dee Blanchard, the victim, and her daughter, Gypsy Rose Blanchard. And really, all that really was established, they certainly did not read all of it, but one of the posts that was read said that killing her mother would be a last resort thing. And this was Nicholas Godejohn telling another friend of his this. It wasn't his conversation on Facebook Messenger with Gypsy. It was his conversation on Facebook Messenger with his friend, who was a female. He was saying killing her mom would be a last resort thing, and that her mother treats her horribly. So I thought that was interesting. Okay, so then day 2 came. We had a detective from the Property Crime Division take the stand. He documented the search of the defendant's home, which is Nicholas Godejohn. Now, he lived in this Great Bend, Wisconsin, I think, is where he is. And so they found all kinds of stuff. Oh, yeah. Sneakers, white sneakers with blood stains on them. This, a bank bag, handcuffs, a Ziploc bag with quite a bit of money in it, and the bag was labeled nest egg savings. So they took all the money out of this bag and they stacked it up in denominations, and there was, quite a bit of money in this bag. But he didn't know how much. He didn't add it up. So he had no idea how much was in the bag, which I thought was interesting. Try to pick another color here. Pick another color, Rebecca. So there was a Ziploc bag found with 3 wigs in it, which obviously those were gypsies, not Nick's. There was then they did, the envelope was right where Nicholas Gaujon said it was during his interview. It was in the closet, in the right-hand corner of the closet, where he said it was going to be. And inside of that bag was the knife and some gloves. And the shirt. Oh my God, you have to see this shirt. Holy cow. I'm going to put a picture of it here. If somebody came to me during the daylight hours wearing this god-awful shirt, I would be scared. It's got these scary clowns all over it. And he wore this with like a black jacket. I don't know why he wore white sneakers, but he had this god-awful clown shirt on, this black jacket, and I don't know. Clearly the victim never saw him because she was sound asleep when he went in to kill her. But had she woken up, she'd have been mighty scared, I gotta tell you. Oh yeah. Because that shirt was really scary. So then we had another detective come on the stand who pulled the surveillance from the day's end, and that showed, they showed it to the jury. That was on June 11th. It showed both, about 11 a.m., both Nicholas Gaujon and Gypsy Rose leaving the elevator. And then it shows him at the checkout counter trying to check out of the hotel. Then we see surveillance that was pulled from the Greyhound bus station showing Gypsy, and I keep saying Dixie again. I'm determined to call her Dixie. Showing Gypsy and Nick purchasing their bus tickets. Then they leave and get into a taxi, go back to the Days Inn because apparently their bus was not leaving until the next day, the next evening, or early the next morning. So they go back to the Days Inn. So now we go back to surveillance at the Days Inn. He checks back in, pays in cash. Then we see them getting back into the elevators and going up to the room. So fascinating stuff, guys. Fascinating. What symbol am I doing? Okay. Oh, I got it. So, and this little plastic thing, it sticks on your diamonds, and the trays stick there, so you don't have to like hold them constantly. Because I have my drafting table at an angle, so this is a really handy little item here. So after the surveillance, we have another crime scene tech come on the stand, and he said that Nicholas had an injury to his right index finger, which probably knife related, I'm sure, that was swabbed for DNA. And then that same detective also swabbed Gypsy Rose for DNA, just a buccal swab. Then they showed the knife was shown to the jury. It was taken out of its sheath and it was shown to the jury. I was going to put a picture up of it here, but it wasn't a very clear picture. You probably wouldn't be able to make it out. But it looked like a knife like a fillet knife you would use to maybe fillet fish or something, like, you know how it kind of curves. It looked like a fillet knife. And not huge, really not huge at all. Like, as knives go, I guess. I don't know. But I mean, it looked like a kitchen fillet knife, is what it looked like to me. Then we had um, the computer forensic analyst take the stand for the entire rest of the day. And by the end of day 2, I'm sure the jurors, as well as me, wanted to gouge my eyes out or my ears out. Certainly my ears, my eardrums. Stop, make it stop. What he was doing was, all right, so first of all, he explained to the jury that they had other names for each other. They He liked to be called Victor. That was his bad self, the one that was going to commit the crime. And then she called herself Candy and Bella and Ruby, and she had all these other names for herself. And that they would always sign off with, I love and adore and worship you, and or your twin flames soulmates. Yeah. It got much better, trust me. So then he said he pulled off everything from their computers, everything from Nicholas Godejohn's cell phone, everything from Gypsy's cell phone, but Gypsy had a flip phone that had no cell service, but it would allow her to download. It would connect to Wi-Fi. It would allow her to download programs like Yahoo Messenger. So she downloaded Yahoo Messenger, and she could communicate to Nicholas's cell phone through Yahoo Messenger, and then he would communicate back. So back and forth. That's how they communicated, because she really did not have a true cell phone. There were no calls made to that phone. She couldn't make calls out from that phone. Very strange. But she could do this Facebook Messenger. And then I think she had a computer as well that they would do Skype calls to one another. So all that gets downloaded, and the computer analyst says, what is in all of this material that he downloaded is these sexual stories about each other, numerous videos of each other. Let me get the dog. Beep, beep, beep. Come on in. Numerous videos of each other, which Nicholas Godejohn tried to encrypt, but this guy knew how to get to these items anyway. There's Skype chat. He had access to the Skype chat, but the Skype chat doesn't show any video when you download it, but it does pick up the actual what people are saying back and forth to one another. But you can't, it's not like when it's played back, you don't see the video. You just see what the chat is, what people are saying, and it talks about his plans to kill her mother. And also that she was planning to get pregnant. They were planning like a year later, she was going to get pregnant. And so anyway, yeah. So then he talked about all the computer searches that were on Nicholas Godejohn's computer, which included flowers. That's the least of everything. It gets better. Handcuffs. Handcuffs. Bondage tape. Yes. And he went to several different sites looking for bondage tape, including Walmart. Bondage tape. Now, I don't think Walmart sells bondage tape, but, okay. He was looking for a taser at Walmart. Don't think they sell tasers either. Looking at knives, several different kinds of knives at Walmart. He looked up the Greyhound bus station, he looked up the Days Inn, and he looked up a taxi cab company. You could see where on the 10th, the night of the 10th, when he's going to Gypsy's home, you could see where he ordered a taxi cab that would take him from the Days Inn to her address. And then he also did a Google map search of Gypsy's home, so he could see that. So then, I didn't even write this stuff down because, oh my God, it was so nauseating. The entire rest of the day were the text messages back and forth between Nicholas and Gypsy, starting in May all the way up until the night of the murder. And I still have some to listen to. I just like I said, I was ready to go, you know, and poke my eardrums out. Oh, you know, the emojis and the heart emojis was just nauseating. LOL, heart emoji, you know, heart emoji, you know, clearly they were in love, two young lovers, and they would, you know, sweetie, and she would call him daddy, and they would talk about what he was talk about what he's going to do to her and what kind of sex they were going to have. I'm literally, I can't say unless you want to clear all the youngs out of the room. Like, have them go watch TV and I'll talk about it. But, you know, like different positions and, yeah. And so at one point the judge says, hold on a minute. And he says, now, you know, the court reporter is, because what they were having this detective do, this computer analyst do, is read the text messages. And he would say, okay, the defendant said, blah, blah, blah. Gypsy responded, blah, blah, blah. Defendant, blah, blah, blah. Gypsy, blah, blah, blah. So he says, you know, if we're entering all of this into evidence, does the court reporter really need to write all this? And the lawyer's saying yes. And the judge is like, but it's 600 text messages. And the lawyer's like, nope, I want it all in the record. So the judge is like, okay, it's your trial. And I'm thinking, 600 text messages? Good gravy. Yeah. Oh, daddy. Oh, daddy. It was so nauseating. And it really doesn't, it gets really old right up until a few days before the murder, where they're actually planning things out, you know. Can't wait till you come to town, you know. And he said to her, you know, when I come that night, make sure you're shaved and, you know, everything is shaved. And when I open that bathroom door after I do the deed, make sure you're naked. And I'm like, no, please. Oh, God. And I'm at work listening to this, and I'm like, oh, God, no. No. I don't want to hear anymore. I swear if I was a juror, I'd been like this. Oh, I can't take it anymore. Now, at one point, this has gone on for like an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes. I don't know. It seemed like forever. Finally, the judge says, I think we're at a stopping point here. I think the jury needs a break. And they're all like, yeah, break time, yeah. So the poor jury, I got a drill that's sticking up here. Anyway, what is going on with this drill? I know, you're in the middle of a good story. Leave the drill alone. It's going to cut me. What the heck? Okay, there it is. Now, push down. Oh, it's just misshapen. It needs to be replaced altogether. Do y'all ever have that happen to you? Yeah, it just doesn't want to stay. All right, there it goes. Anyway, that was work. Now I got another one. Okay. Oh, that one came up. My goodness. It's the black ones. Um, so they come back from the break. The guy starts reading the text messages again. I'm like, no, no more. I can't take it anymore. You know, and it keeps on going. You know, make sure you come in quietly. Mom's a light sleeper. Uh, you know, if we can't have sex here, we'll have lots of sex when we get to the hotel, and and I'll cuddle you in my arms, and I'll rock you, and I'll like, oh, no more text messages. I can't take it. Yeah, the entire day, text messages. So tomorrow, on day 3, I think Gypsy's going to take the stand. Shoo-wee. Yeah. No more text messages. Thank the Lord. Um, I would have been like, he's guilty if they just stop playing the text messages. Stop. The only thing worse would have been if they had like Gypsy reading them and Nick reading them. I would have been just, I know that judge was like, ah. Anyway, uh, I've gone way far afield here, haven't I? All right, so we will take this up tomorrow on day 3 of the trial. Okay. Let's talk about this day in history. Do, 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 do. What happened this day in history? Okay. The final episode in 2004 of Friends airs on NBC. And over 51 million people watched this show, but it still wasn't the top finale of all time. So you know what the top show finale was? MASH. MASH had over 100 million people watching. Then I think Cheers was the next one, and where did I read this? Yeah. What you doing there, Jake? Yeah. Cheers had 80 million. Seinfeld had 76 million. Seinfeld finale was horrible. Just horrible. That was the worst finale ever. And that had 76 million people. But MASH had 105 million people. So according to the New York Times, NBC charged advertisers for the finale of Friends an average of $2 million for every 30 seconds of ad time during the finale of Friends. That's a record amount for a sitcom, and only 300,000 less than what CBS charged during that year for the Super Bowl. Yeah, only the Super Bowl cost you a little bit more. Oh my God. So this was the episode where Ross gets together finally with, what was her name? Monica was his sister. Ross and Rachel, they finally, they had had a baby, they had gotten married, divorced, then they finally get back together. And then Rachel and Ross. Okay, it was Rachel and Ross. They got back together. Yes. Then there was Chandler and Monica. They were already married, but they had twins. And then what happens to Phoebe, which is Lisa Kudrow? Oh, she gets married, and then Joey heads to LA to pursue an acting career, and he gets a spin-off show that just doesn't do well at all. But each one of those people, they would negotiate their contracts together, so they all would get the same amount of money. Because that was the uniqueness about that show. No one of those 6 people was the star of that show. Would you stop? Oh my God. He did this all through Crap With Me Wednesday. He's doing it through my show now. I'm going to throw him out the door in a minute. Let me finish what I was saying, Jake, please. So I think in their final season, they negotiated where they would each get $4 million an episode. No, I'm sorry, $1 million an episode. $1 million for a 30-minute episode. What? Yeah, and then they get royalties, because this thing is rebroadcast in 100 different countries. So I'm sure they're making lots of money, even in today's society. Even in today, it's just that show just kind of lives on. What was that song that they would sing at the beginning of it? Do 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 do. I can hear it in my head. What's that song? Jake, we're going to sing a song and you're going to stop whining. Do, 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 do. I'll be there for you when the rain starts to fall. I'll be there for you. Do, 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 do. I love that song. And they're all like, sitting there at the fountain. I'll be there for you, Jake, when you start to whine. I'll be there for you. Oh my God. She's lost her mind. I'm going to lose my mind if I don't finish this daggone painting. Only I could make the finishing touches of a painting last for freaking ever. Yes. Yep, that would be me. Okay, I think it's time to wrap up the show. Y'all have a great Thursday. Don't forget to watch my girl Wolfpack tonight. She's on at 6:30 p.m. Central, or maybe it's 6 Central. Yeah, I forget. But I love her. Love you to death. Great, Stephanie. Love you. Anyway, love you all. I'll see you tomorrow on the Friday morning show with Crafting Journey. Thank you.